do I?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, so I'm just going to go through this presentation with you. It's got lots of information that may be in the back of your minds ready for when you start in September. And I'm going to start the presentation and the recording now. Okay, so the first part is just a little bit about me. It's strange starting a new school, so it's always nice to have a familiar face. So I'm Miss Heather. I teach drama in school, so if we've got any actors or performers in our tutor group, I'm your gal. This will be my 8th year at Rawmarsh, and it's just such a lovely school to be a part of. I really enjoy it, and I consider myself very lucky to be there. And I hope that come September, you guys will feel exactly the same way. So the people in this group are our tutor group to start off with in September. This will change throughout the year because after data collections, we get moved around a little bit based on things like your attendance and your effort and your punctuality and your behaviour points. So basically that will come, you'll learn a lot more about that later down the line, but you are starting in September with these students and with me, so you'll know exactly what to expect when you come to us after the summer. This is what the school day looks like. So it starts with a tutor period at 8:40. And it's just a 15-20 minute session with me and everyone in this group, and it's just to make sure that you're set up for the learning day. That's followed by 2 lessons and then a break time, and then another lesson and another break time, and then your final lesson of the day, which finishes at 3:10. You'll be able to mix with other friends from your primary and make new ones during lesson time. And you'll get your timetable given to you on your first day. You're not in lessons on the first day, so you don't need to worry about that. You'll have time to figure it all out. You're going to be in your tutor groups for the first 2 days when you come with us in September. We're going to be doing some induction and activities and getting you set up on the school systems and things like that. So you'll have a little settling in period before you start. After the form period is the first 20 minutes of every single day. So you'll start every single day with me and everybody else in this tutor group. So a warning bell rings at 8:40. So you get a warning bell, and that bell's telling you to get yourself to your tutor room, because the second bell will sound at 8:45, and that's when tutor will begin. The morning register is taken during the tutor time. And 1 morning per week, you will have an assembly in the main hall with the whole year group, and the head of year and the SPM will speak to you about different topics and things that are relevant to you. And the different form time activities that we offer are things like quizzes, and we'll go over information and data about you, and it's all thematic. So 1 week we might be looking at children in need, and then the next week we might be looking at something else. So it's all like a mini lesson, but in our tutor groups. So the uniform, I know a lot of you will have a lot of questions about the uniform policy. I do have good news. Pinders is officially open now. So anytime between now and September, you can go down to Pinders and try on any of the uniform to make sure that you're getting the right sizes, because some of the trouser sizes are a bit hit and miss. So it might be worth you heading down there just to try on the trousers, if nothing else. So it consists of black tailored trousers or a black knee-length skirt, and these have the Wickersley Partnership Trust logo displayed on the upper part of the leg. A smart white school shirt and a clip-on tie, and your black V-neck jumper or your cardigan, both with the school logo and the Wickersley Partnership Trust logo. As you can see from that image, it looks very smart and it's quite comfortable as well. This is what your PE kit looks like. So it's shorts or leggings or tracksuit bottoms with the school logo on. You have a t-shirt with the logo, and there's hoodies for females or zip-up tops for males, and they look quite smart as well. And you'll need to get yourself some black socks and some trainers as well as part of your PE kit. Just bear with me a minute, I think we're having a technical issue. Sorry about this, everyone. Just making sure that the presentation's back on the screen. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. I'm a jinx when it comes to technology. Hopefully you can see this now. So we're back on that PE kit. It looks very smart. You've got your hoodies, your polo shirts and your shorts. And it's really comfortable for your activities as well, which is great. So this is the type of footwear that is accepted at Rawmarsh. The best and easiest way to be certain that your footwear is appropriate is that it's plain black leather. Those three things. And these are some examples of what we at the school consider plain black leather footwear. And these are some examples of what will not be accepted. So you can see some have got different coloured logos and stripes on them. If they're definitely not leather, if they've got buckles or zips that are really garish, or if they're made of plastic or anything that's not leather, they won't be accepted as school shoes. Part of the uniform policy is that makeup should be discreet and minimal. Okay, so absolutely no false eyelashes and definitely no false nails. Extreme haircuts are not allowed. That's at the discretion of the school to decide what they consider an extreme haircut, but that usually means things like bright hair dyes and things like that. Jewelry must be kept to a minimum, so no more than one small earring, sleeper or stud in each ear. Your facial piercings are not allowed on school site, but you are allowed to wear your gold, silver and bronze award pin badges that you will win for excellent effort, attendance and CFPs and things like that. Now to the important part, the food. We have the big canteen available to you to sit down and eat with your friends. And that's for you from September, you'll be able to get in there 10 minutes early to start off with. So all the other year groups will stay in lessons and year 7s will be able to go into the canteen or to the other hatches, because there's 2 other areas you can collect food from. And you'll be able to go in there and collect your food and settle down and eat before everybody else comes out, which is quite nice. The good news is as well, and this is not just for September, this is forever, you can pre-order your food before tutor each day. So if you want to skip those big queues, or you want to make sure that you can collect your lunch from somewhere else and enjoy as much of your break time as you can pre-order food from the canteen before tutor each day. So if you get in before tutor and want to do that, that's a new service that they provide, which is brilliant. So parents, this one's for you. We accept payments through something called Parent Pay, and letters will be going out to you before September with your Parent Pay login details. So this is what you'll use to top up your child's account for food at break times and pay for school trips and things like that as well. The school does not take cash at the tills in the cafe or the hatches. Unfortunately, there's no cash on site for that. So it's fingerprints or a code to pay that the students will get given on their first day. So that will all be sorted on day 1 before the first break time. And you can top up via Parent Pay or manually with coins. So they can bring money in and use this machine on the right and pay the money into that machine if you don't want to do it online. This is just an example of some of the things on the school menu. There's lots and lots of food available. They cater to many, many different appetites and tastes. But this is just an example of some of the things available, so you can have a rough idea of how much things will cost. A lot of students go for that little meal deal in the corner. So for $2.15, you can choose a sandwich, a drink and a snack, which is a bit of a bargain, really. And then obviously you've got your breakfast menu as well if you want to come in before tutor and have something in the canteen then. So the things you'll need to be equipped to learn. So what you'll need to bring into school every single day, very, very simple, is this list here. So in a pencil case, you'll need 2 pens, black or blue, 2 pencils, a ruler, a sharpener, and a rubber. Those are the things that we'll be checking for every day to make sure that you've got everything you need. Anything else you bring in is extra and a bonus. But these are the things that we expect you to bring in every single day to make sure that you're able to crack on in your lessons as soon as the work comes out. For design and technology, the way it runs in our school is that they often ask for a voluntary contribution towards resources, which supports the department to provide everything for the students that they need. This will mean that students aren't asked to bring in their own ingredients for food, so you won't have to worry about last minute panic buys for flour and things like that. The school will provide that. This will appear on your parent pay account ready for September, and it's usually around £10 for the year, but can vary each year depending on changes to the curriculum. So keep an eye out for that one, because that's what that payment will be for. It's for your contribution for materials for design and technology. An apron must be worn in D&T as part of health and safety, and the school can provide those, but students are welcome to bring their own if they prefer. So we have an online learning platform called Sam Learning. You can find lots about this on the school website. You will get your account set up for you when you come in September. So it will be a busy couple of days, but we'll get you set up with everything you need. Many subjects set their homework on Sam Learning, but it's not just homework. There's lots of quizzes and fun things to help you revise. And if you feel that you need some extra work, it's all there for you. And we've introduced it last year, and the students are doing really well and enjoying with it and doing a lot of work from home with that. Mobile phones. Mobile phones are allowed in school. However, they are only allowed to be seen if the teacher has given permission for you to have them out in the lesson to use the calculator or for anything else, or at break times, but only in the form rooms. So, or for recording homework. So any other time your phone is seen, if that's on the corridors or during lessons times when you're not supposed to have your phone out, your phone will be confiscated until the end of the school day. So it gets taken off you, sent to the SPM's office, and then the SPMs lock it in the school safe until the end of the school day. If that happens 3 times in a row, parents are expected to come and pick the phone up. So just bear that in mind. Don't take your phone out unless it's absolutely essential or in one of those 3 areas. Okay, it will result in an after-school detention as well. So it's just worth keeping switched off and in your bag unless it's break time and you're in a classroom or the teacher's told you to get it out. So our detention system, which hopefully none of you will ever need to know about, but just to make you aware, we operate a same-day detention system. So if for any reason you get yourself a detention, it will happen that day straight after school. And there's 3 types of detentions. There's the pastoral detention, which are for things like CFCs or any issues that the SPM or head of year or your tutor put you in for. You've got the faculty detention, and that's subject-based and lesson-based. So that can be your English, your maths, your science teacher, anyone who feels that you need to be in that detention after school, they can put you in. And then you've got the sanctioned detention. Now, the sanctioned detention is a big one and actually lasts till 4 o'clock. That's because you will have been removed from the lesson. So the other issues might have just been late homework or something like that. But if you are taken out of lesson because you're stopping the learning of someone else, you will be put in a sanctioned detention that evening until 4 o'clock. And parents, you should get a text to alert you of that, of any detention, so you'll know if your child is being kept behind for a detention that same day. It sounds awful, but actually the detentions, the whole point of them is an opportunity for the teacher who's put you in there and you to have a bit of a chat and clear the slate before next lesson. So it's more of a let's make sure that by next lesson this whole issue is forgotten and sorted scenario. Rewards, the good part. You can see from that list there are so many rewards in school. The main one is the CFP, the cause for praise. So that you can get this for anything in school, for good effort and things like that. And I'll go into a little bit more detail in a moment about how you get those CFPs. But praise points are about effort and behaviour. The golden tie for the top boy and top girl of the year group. There's golden book awards where you get your books covered in golden paper because they're just so amazing at presentation. And then you've got all of these other big things that we'll talk about in September, and we'll introduce you to a little bit more. But as you can see, there are far more opportunities to get rewarded than anything else. So how do I get rewarded? You may or may not have seen this Rawmarsh way before and read some of the statements. But essentially, all the CFPs you'll receive are for one of these statements on this blue card. So, for example, if you turn up to Tutor every single day with a full equipment list, on the Friday, I will give you a CFP because you've proven that you are equipped to learn. So that's at least one CFP every single week that every single person can get access to. There are so many options there, but there's really, basically, if you follow the Rawmarsh way, you're going to get lots and lots of rewards. Linking to the Rawmarsh way, we now have the Rawmarsh Pledge, and this is something extra the school has introduced to help with citizenship and all of the things that happen inside and outside of lesson, but give you more rewards for all of the things you do day to day and for going that extra mile. There's the bronze, silver and gold awards that you can work towards, and it's basically just something that's going to help you when you leave school, because you can talk about all of these experiences and these tasks and these things that you've done and achieved outside of lessons as well. It looks something like this, so you can have a quick look at some of the examples. So for bronze active citizenship, you could write down a list of your strengths and areas for development and present it to your form group. You might learn a new skill. You might research employment requirements for a specific career. So what employment requirements for being a vet, for example. So these are all sorts of things that you will be working towards in your social studies lessons through tutor time, but things you can go away and do on your own to help you achieve as well. And there will, like I said, there will be big rewards for this Rawmarsh Pledge. Speaking of which, Mr. Turton would like to set you your very first Rawmarsh Pledge challenge. Before we return in September, can you complete the above challenge? Can you learn a new skill? So that could be anything. So that could be playing piano, or it could be keepy uppies with a football, because I can't do that. So I could give that a try and have a go at learning a new skill before September. It can be absolutely anything. But to make it work for the pledge, you'll need to provide evidence of you learning that new skill. So that might be photographs, it might be videos, it might be a diary demonstration. You will be able to share this with your form group and form tutor in September. So this is my challenge to you guys between now and September. So you've got a few weeks, yeah? Try and learn a new skill and bring some evidence in. We'll do some show and tell stuff when we get back. Parents, there is a Chromebook scheme available at Rawmarsh. So if you're looking for getting a Chromebook and thinking about buying one that your child can bring into school and use in lessons and use from home as well, there are some options of buying it through the school available for you there. There is a tab on the school website for you to be able to come back and have a look at this in more detail and have a think about it. And there's also an email address at the bottom there should you have any questions about the Chromebook scheme. And it's chromebooks@rawmarsh.org. So if it's something you're thinking about and you want a bit more information, if you email that email address, someone will get back to you and give you all the information you need about purchasing a new Chromebook. So a couple of things before this presentation ends. I have bombarded you with a lot of information, Year 6, and that's absolutely fine. But sometimes you might want your questions answered by a student, so someone who's actually in the know. So if you have any questions that you would like to ask our current Year 7 students who were where you are now this time last year, so they've been through transition, they've started big school, and they've been there a whole year now, You might have some questions that you want to ask, but maybe find it a bit strange to ask a teacher. So this is the way you can do that. So you will be able to ask questions directly to the students by completing the form on the website with your questions, or email them to the contacts on the next page. So if you can't find the form on the website, write down the email addresses that are about to come up and you can forward your questions to them. And then we will release a follow-up video, which will be shared on the school website, of these students answering your questions. So you don't have to have anything right now, but if you think of something, you can bring it up and email these email addresses at a later date. Okay, so you've got the head of year, Mr. Bartle, and his email address is jbartle, make sure you write LE, @rawmarsh.org. Or you've got Miss Tomlinson, so htomlinson@rawmarsh.org. So you can direct your questions at them or to me. So if you've written down your email at my email address at the beginning, you can direct your questions to me. And if I can't find the answer out, I'll certainly direct it to someone who can. So thank you very much for listening. I'm going to stop the recording now. I'm going to stop the presentation. And if we have any questions that someone would like to address,